Right, so the reason I use the Bible is because most people use it in America. When they talk about God, people they sort of don't listen to somebody talking about God, especially Royal African Falcon martial arts. They'll think of it in terms of race, and it will kind of turn them off. But when I point to the Bible and I make it clear that it's superimposed on martial art principles that far predate the Torah and the Bible, then it's a different story. Okay? They have a lot of explaining to do. Okay, why do these morals exist already? But then they're saying it as if God just gave it to them the first time in Exodus and they had no idea what they were doing before that. Okay? So they come into contact with black people in Egypt, in that particular way, in an organized kind of way, in a trade route way, in a way where people are bothering to take the time to learn how other people think and speak and their customs. And they come out saying, one of us has talked to God, okay, and split the Red Sea, and it's all metaphor and trick. So it's obviously evil. The Bible is Bible. Just like Seth, whose name can also be pronounced as Set. It's wordplay. It's not a coincidence. It's spelled exactly the same way as the deity of evil, storms, rape, magic, confusion. Okay, jackals, boars, snakes to some degree, deer, aardvark, hippos. Okay, Set, the Egyptian deity, and Set's Greek equivalent is Zeus. His Middle Eastern equivalent, okay, is Baal. Now, it's important to note that Set is a deity also of foreigners, foe, rain, ears, and heirs, in the wrong, ears, who they listen to. Okay, Set. Okay, set a trap, upset, set the stage, set up somebody. It's not a coincidence. The Bible is a bisexual, Baal, right? Bisexual Set. And for whatever reason, this wordplay comes together. From what I gather, people went to great lengths to make sure things like this come together, and that's part of why they spaz out about their traditions, rules, and customs, because they're playing a sick occult game behind the scenes. A cult, sex cult, right, is connected. Anyone knows anything about Satanism and occultists, they know quite often they talk about sex magic. They have naked they pose naked, and they call it naked temples and stuff like this. They try to promote erotic desire. They say Satan, to them, they believe that he is the liberator for them, and he liberates them from the constraints of morality. Okay, so to them, they look at the Bible as God is good, the devil is evil, and unless you accept evil, that according to them, not me, that magically you're missing out in life, and then you're imprisoned by morals that apparently to them don't exist. It's not a coincidence that these guys are quite often fat idiots. They're skinny, they're weird, they're rarely in good shape. And as Satanism became more open in America, you see more people take on weird gender-neutral shapes and so on. They talk about the gender-neutral Baphomet. It's obvious that America is infested with Satanism. So why didn't these churches all close down, right? Why didn't they put up the white flag? Why didn't they give up? Why aren't they being persecuted? Because the Bible is by the devil, Set, and the deity Anu, Set on. Also, Set and On is Ra's cult center. Ra in Hebrew means evil, but Ra to the Egyptians means good. And in the Bible it says, woe to you, call good evil and evil good. Okay, it's not a coincidence that the Hebrew, okay, which I believe was made by people who worship the devil, especially because they killed the prophets. They start killing the prophets early on. They start defying Moses and Aaron early on. They convince Aaron to be evil too early on. They start killing the prophets. Zechariah, Isaiah, they start killing these people. And Jesus cites that. He said, woe to you, Jerusalem, the place that kills the prophets and those sent to you. Okay? So, and he talks about the synagogue of Satan, and Satan is the god of this world. Okay? So the Bible is by Set. It's a trap. By lab, or labyrinth. Lab, chemistry, right? Pharmakeia. You look at some of these Bible sites, they'll define pharmakeia for you. Poisoning, sorcery, witchcraft. Okay? So it's by people who do witchcraft, switcheroo, set you up, people begging for help and turn around and rob you and kill you. It's by these people who put a Christian cross on a pagan temple and set you up in the pagan tradition. And pagans have a long history of setting people up on trade routes, human trafficking them, raping them, killing them. You know, some pagans were cannibals. There's all kinds of pagan activities in that regard. And they kind of got together and said, set up who you can. Spread gossip, right? Every low technique you can imagine is associated with pagans. And pagans, you know, they got some nerve acting like that paganism is misunderstood or something. First of all, paganism covers a great many things. Okay? To say paganism is misunderstood is like saying gangsterism is misunderstood. Being a gangster, to some degree, it is misunderstood. But that doesn't mean it's not full of rapists and murderers, okay, and robbers, and people who beat you up, and people who, you know, attack each other, and so on and so forth. So it is and isn't misunderstood. Pagan, 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 okay? And so on and so forth. And ap and gay, right? The first two letters, P-A, turn them around, you get ap, the letter N for N, and G-A for gay. And ap and G is the earth deity. And these guys, you know, they harvest and the winter solstice and all this sort of stuff, right? They're scientists who practice the science of theft, of governance based on illusion and lies. Anyone who doesn't know that, my goodness, is one dumb fuck. And that is to be distinguished between the Royal African Falcon Top Martial Arts Order, which is about mental clarity, truth, discipline, timing, what have you. And there's all kinds of other martial arts systems that sprung up, and they sprung up for their nations and their peoples, so they're lying about the universal martial art order. I often talk about Kung Fu, right? King Fo. And when I was doing Kung Fu when I was younger, you know, for some brief period of time, to some degree, the police officers that went to that school, they were giving me a hard time, okay, because they don't want the type of person who's the best at martial arts to do martial arts and to show people up. And these are petty people. Remember, they're led by inbred, old money, European people who are selfish, who have a long line of being bloodthirsty, selfish, arrogant, you know, narcissistic fools with no sense. So the anti-martial artist is really the European old money person, or a Jewish person who's rich who becomes a crazy old man or something who wants Jews to be seen as chosen in 2022. I mean, that's insane, right? That's evil, that's insane, it's wrong, okay? And they know that most people in the world, most people in the world, if I remember correctly, belong to an Abrahamic faith, but the vast majority of them are Christian and Muslim, not Jewish. So how wrong is it to tell to billions of people, you know, as a small group of people, we want you to be Jews, and then to start to breed more people, okay? It's wrong. So again, the Bible is by Bel, by Set, confusion. Okay, fugue states of mind. The F word for homosexuals, no offense to the LGBT community, is connected to fugue, right? Thinking straight versus being giddy and, oh, Molly, everything, oh, yeah, oh, hi, Susie, right? That is not the optimum state of mind. I'm a brain surgeon's son, and my dad took brain function seriously. You know what I'm saying? I did something that was bad for brain function. He'd get on my bumper. When I was drinking as a little kid, he's on my bumper, saying you need to have optimum brain function. You need to exercise, circulate the blood through your brain, have brain function working well. Now, I'm not the expert on the brain and how it functions, but I know enough to know that when you start being a giddy person, a careless person, an indifferent person, okay, that's what Seth wants. That's what the devil wants. He wants a bunch of bootlicking social norm fucking idiots who say, who does that? And stuff like this. And insist that people are in some kind of airhead box. So when we look at the word game, it's the word mage, scramble. What are mages? Magic trick bitch. They're not martial artists. They're magic trick, Houdini, Gandalf, out of touch, Harry Potter, out of touch, Merlin, out of touch, okay, dull senses, okay, scientific tricks type of bitch. They're not sharp. Okay? Now, if you're not sharp, that's one thing. You're not sharp and you're insisting everyone's your fucking mind control slave, and you team up and you conform to a system which requires you to try to make other people the mind control slaves of the rich, and you're a sick fuck. Pretty straightforward. So we look at the word game. The first part of the word game has the sound gay. And the second part, obviously I'm not playing the game, is the word me. So that first word and me. And that first word, you look it up in the Urban Dictionary, right? It means giddy. It means pointless and stupid. They used to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? That video game is lame. It's gay. Okay, no offense to the gay community. This is how the word is used. Okay, also, King Minos, pacify, Circe, where we get the word church, they're all from the same area, Crete. And pacify is a deity associated with homosexuality as being from the family of King Minos. Okay? And it also means to pacify someone. So if you want to keep someone from being sharp and thinking straight and being serious and choosing the right person, you want to be a dumb, gold-digging bitch, you mix them with the genes of the inbred oppressor, and they come out a dumb, gold-digging bitch because they have those genes of expecting to be treated like a princess or something, very mature, very pathetic, and they have those genes of that selfishness, that ruthlessness, that indifference to human suffering, and liking to pretend that they care, right? Because European nobles like to go in front of people and pretend that they care about the country and people. This is part of where we get the kind of politics that goes on, right? So they're very much into politics and pretending that they're trying to do what's best for the nation or something. I noticed they cut out the video there. Might have to start using a new device because they hacked the phone. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that when I start talking about certain issues or something, it tends to be when the phone cuts out. These people are really on me 24/7. I mean, who gets hacked 8 times a year? And I don't even go on Facebook anymore. It's just YouTube. And looking things up, and I avoid certain websites. So few people avoid sites as much as I do, and I'm still getting hacked more than everybody else. So they're around the clock stalking me. That proves it definitively. And I have a video where I show you that they hacked my phone. They start typing things into the phone. It's pretty clear cut. Woe to those people who think 22 witnesses and getting hacked, year round, isn't proof of organized stalking. Okay? That is sad when you live in a society that doesn't see that as proof. Okay? A society that's so unrestrained. The people are doing this and merged with the state, and the state decided that they don't care, right? They don't care 1 in 4 little girls are molested. They don't care sexual harassment, rape in college. No matter what the issue is, homelessness. We can solve homelessness for close to nothing, okay? 50 cents on average a month for people worth less than $1 million, okay? $20 on average a month for people worth over $1 million. We can do it really progressively so that people who are worth like $1 million pay like $7 a month or $8 a month. That's like less than $2 a week, okay? And we could build 200,000 homes a year for $30,000 each, okay? With showers and, even with stoves if we want to. We could build with showers and sinks and toilet, okay? Probably come in around 25,000. So, 30,000 is a high estimate to make sure that there's more than enough money to cover these things and hidden fees and to start covering utilities, okay? It only take 3 years. There's like 600,000 or so people homeless. In 3 years, we have 600,000 homes, and some of these homes will have more than one person in it. So that should cover it. In 3 years, this very small monthly tax, we could wipe out homelessness and house them all, okay? And with the existing money they have allocated for homeless services, they could do their mental health, food program, pay their utilities, maintenance fees, okay? Security working in some of these, the bigger areas that are made for homeless people, okay? Things like this, they could do things like that. But they don't, because you're governed by inbred, old money trash, and occultists, and fake Christians, and all the kinds of filth cultures you see in society. Think about the rich people from those cultures, they're all scum.